life that pleases the creator of the universe.
That's
That's
a deep.
very important.
Yes.
Okay? So we want everyone to be, yes, but they're not. The key is not us being like them, it's them being like us.
Right.
Those who are trying to do that's right with the creator. They're not based on that. Though they say in God we trust, but their life is not based on that. But our life is based on that.
Yes,
Everything
indeed.
that we do, from our business to our social affairs, all that is centered around. Yeah. Are we on?
Yeah, we should be good, man.
Okay. Let's see what happens. Hallelujah. So we thank the Creator. We believe that our systems are coming back up now. Um, and we're going to continue on with our portion of Pinchas, but we're going back to a little portion of the lot, which took place, which really set this thing off that it was really deep. You've read about the portion of Balak, the story of Balaam and Balak wanted to have us cursed so that he could defeat us. Because they believe in the spiritual power too. That's the reason they call him Balaam. To have him curse us so that they could fight against us. The point was, and push us out of the land. The whole premise, the whole theory wasn't good because we never was attempting to conquer Balak's land. But that shows you that what people think in their mind. You don't know what a person is thinking. But he's thinking that we're going to come take his land as we took others prior. And even with Sihon and Og, they came out to fight against us. We didn't approach them, but they came to fight with us. So that's why we fought with them. So Balak is thinking the same when we're coming to take his land. No, we're not. So he surmised this in his head. Of course, it's the way that the Creator is also getting us possession. It's also still testing us to prove us. So now he's trying to use Bilam to help him beat us, but that only what Bilam only elevates us more. And finally, he leaves off and he goes home, but he also, before he goes, he also advises Balak on what we're going to do to him and others. And then he also lets Balak know, devises with the people of Balak how to cause us to lose our power with the Creator. Okay? And the device, their advice and devices that they use worked. And it caused us to reduce our energy, our power, our faith with God. That advice that he gave. Because they know us. The systems know how we think. The systems know how we feel. They've studied us. They've watched us. They know what we eat. They've used us like they use those scanner boxes with the mice. So they devised a plan knowing that our strength is God, is the Most High. Well, how can we get God to dislike his people? Let's cause them to sin against their God, and he release the protection upon them, then we can attack them. So it comes back to like Pharaoh said, let us deal with them wisely. So in that portion of Balak in the 24th chapter, it says, Ekel ha'amlis not benot mo'ab. Okay. Tikra'en la'amlis b'kei Elohehem, yakol ha'am yishtakohu le'Elohehem. And the people of Israel commit whoredoms with the daughters of Moab. Moab. Okay. How? What happened? What took place that they committed Zono with the daughters of Moab? Because it says Tikla en La'am les Lezikhe Elohim. Because the people of Moab invited the people of Israel to the festivals, to the offerings of their gods. So now here we go. So we can't get you one way, we'll get you another way. We're going to invite you to a big party. And we're going to have this affair, but the course of this affair, the theme of this affair is really to get us power, to make us powerless.
Yes.
So it says they invited, they called, Tikren, La'am Niskei Elohim. And they invited and they called the people of Israel to their Zikre Elohim, to their God. So let you know that they invited them to the festival of their God. So
yes.
Why are we going to offer up offerings to someone else's God? What does that include? This was an invitation, people.
Yes.
This wasn't a coercion. This is how we got into this portion of Pinchas, when we're going back. The people of Moab sent an invitation. Saying what they do today, you're invited to go. But this invitation, in essence, is about serving or worshiping the God of Moab and others. And guess what happened? We accepted it. Now, what happens in this? Drinking, eating, sexual orientations, cohabitating. And you look at it, think of a modern day time. People go to parties, outings, trips, and go to clubs to drink. To do what? Meet women. At least the men. Many men go to meet women at a club. As Nancy mentioned, a lot of the songs we like the beat, but the lyrics may be off. But like Jodeci would have want to say, I'm going to take you, what's in that drink, what's in that cup. I'm going to give you some more because I like the way you look. But what's the goal? To take you home. I'm not taking, and the goal is not to take you home to be a wife. No, to take you home to play with your toys. So the whole thing is not on a righteous level. But that's how, in the world, that's how it is. We know that. So my point is that they're leaving, you leave a party, you go meet someone at the party, and your goal is to take them to do what? To cohabitate with them, have fun with them. Women, the same thing. It's not just the men. Right. Go to affairs to meet a guy to play with, or hoping they meet Mr. Rich Man, the man with the money, nice cars. Because you don't really believe you're going to meet Mr. Right at the nightclub. Okay? So my point is that the whole thing is not correct. Well, when and guess what? You come on the invitation, you got to pay. Most of the time, you got to pay in these affairs. They get in. And some of them tell you, well, the women are free till midnight. All right? And some of them, the ladies get in free so they can get the guys in. Whatever the case, what is the point? What's the motive? What's the motive here? So I'm showing you how things happen, even in out there. We think this is just in the book. No. They invite you to things. They give you invitations. But what is the motive? What's the premise of the invite? This is either, it could be a Christianing, a blessing, Whatever affair is, what is the motive? The motive here is to get them to this affair, to extract their power away, to get their protection away from them. But they realize they can't attack them to do that. So they advise, they deal with them wisely in a way that we destroy ourselves, self-destruction, the same way the systems do today, but maybe in a different way. They put foods out that's no good for you. They put the worst things in your neighborhood. They put the alcohol. They put a liquor store in every so many blocks. They put all the bad food that's no good for you. The sugar colors, the Kool-Aid, everything that's going to give you diabetes or high blood pressure is there. Because they say, well, the sugar juice is $1.99 a gallon, or 99 cents a gallon. When you figure that's the right price. It's cheap, but it's toxic. It's not good for you. But that's what's in your community. That's what they put there, because now you're going to make the same choice. As I said, life is about choices.
Yes, it is.
So I'm not going to spend a little bit more money to get the quality juice. I'm going to get the stuff that's coloring and full of sugar. And whatever you eat is the same thing. So it's a choice. So it's self-destruct. They're going to make available that you can buy weapons that are made by systems, by governments. You don't make weapons, guns, but they're available for you to buy. To what? Use against each other. That's other ways the systems use to take you down. You take yourself down.
That's right.
So you think that what you read about here, about them inviting them to the party to Baal Peor, you're in Baal Peor. This is Baal Peor. Because we're doing things that don't please the Creator in nations that we live in, and is equivalent to a Baal Peor. As if you offered up your children to a fire, as if you offered up sacrifice to strange gods because of our lifestyle. So here it says that people begin to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab, particularly when they invited them to the feast of their gods.
Okay.
And now it says that Yokal, Ha'am. They ate, they consumed. Because eating and drinking is a part of it.
Okay.
We offer up, we eat. We finish doing our words of worshiping or servicing. We complete our words with what? Kiddush. We're going back to eat and drink. And we bless, praise Him. Well, they do the same thing, but in a different way. To what?
Right.
Their God, their lifestyle. So we were invited to a big party. And we took it, but the party was dedicated to their gods. So we ate, because we like to eat, we love to drink. And of course, you love those women, those foreign women. Foreign in the sense that they don't live like you live or supposed to live righteously. So basically, you're talking about the men here.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what happens. Look how we got into this. We didn't have to accept the invite, We could have said, no, we're not going to take those invitations. But we did. The men did.
Yes, they did.
Oh, they're going to have pretty women at this party, or those women going to have, they're going to look fine, the best one. But you do that when you go out on Saturday night to the various little places you be, or whatever, the club. You looking for Baal Peor there? So they invited them. They gave them collard greens. They gave them Hennessy. They gave them a car. They gave them the top shelf stuff. They gave them tequila. Whatever you want, we have it. But this affair is in the name of the God of whoever, of Baal Peor. And we got some fine women for you. So when you go to those exclusive country clubs or those exclusive vacations, they always have women for you. What is the motive? So we can easily be bamboozled. You see, it was an invitation, but we didn't think about the invitation to what and why are they inviting us So we have to also think about things when people offer you. For what reason? What's the motive? It's deeper than the surface a lot of times.
That's right.
But since we only think on the surface and we don't think above the surface, that's how we get in trouble. So here they go. So it says they ate. Now here's the key. The next word it says, Yistaka'u le Elohim. They worship, they prostrated there to their gods.
Right.
You see, we were invited. We took the invitation.
Yes.
To this big affair. So you dressed in your best clothes. You jumped in your Ferrari, your Mercedes, your Caddy. Okay, whatever designer car you had. Your BM. Your Rolls. Your Roadlander.
Your Lexus is real.
Jumped in it, and you were off. Pocket full of money, and you go into that affair to worship God. What you doing tonight? You ate, you drank, you caught, and then what happened? Yistaka'u le Elohim. They worship their gods. And there you go, Israel. So look at the plan. Make you comfortable. Make you eat. Make you drink. Here goes a nice young lady. How many pictures have you seen where they present you with women or men? You saw even the firm.
Yes, yes.
And eventually they sat him up what? With a woman to utilize. So when he didn't cooperate, they said, oh, you had this young lady on this. Yeah. That's always been the trap, people.
That's right.
That's always been the case. The systems utilize this. Whether it was with them or in The Godfather, with the politician, with the dead woman in bed. They always bring that because they know man's weakness. So here we have their gods. We ate, drank, and worshiped their gods. And guess what? The cohabitation, that's all a part of it. That's part of the worship. That's part of the process.
Yes, indeed.
They know what you like. They know your weaknesses. We were supposed to reject the invitation. No, thank you. Because they're fighting this fight on a different level, and they're doing the same thing now. You don't even see the fight that they're bringing to you unless you're in tune. Unless you're like Balaam said, the man whose eyes have been opened. Because it's not just a physical fight, people. They're fighting a spiritual fight. They're fighting an economic fight. They're fighting a mental fight now. And we get caught up in it.
Yes.
And how we get caught up? With our desires. The desires that go against the Creator. So now they got us. We're here by our PO. We're eating their food. We're worshiping their gods. We're sleeping with their women. Which is offensive to the Creator. Because you're supposed to be a people that holy. Of Kadosh. So it should have never happened. But it did happen. And what I'm saying to you that tactic that they use is the same tactic they use today. It says, well, Yachel ha'am nisnot, and the people begin to commit whoredom, to go astray immorally, they not Moab with the daughters of Moab. Tikra and they invited the nation of Israel to the feast of Elohim their God. And then it says, Kal Ha'am. And the nation went and they ate, and then they yishtakamut and they drank, and they worshiped, prostrate themselves to who? The Elohim, to the God of the Moabites. Yes, they did.
Yes.
Gotcha. Make your world right. So, what's different when you go to your big parties on your nights, and they invite you down to the naked women and the various things going on, to the Baphomet and all the various things? So they use the same tactics. We can get them away from their power. In order for the system to rule over you, you got to understand it is necessary for you to be backwards. It's necessary for you to wear your hat backwards, to wear your pants, your meekness sign below your rear end.
Mm.
It's necessary for you to be backwards. That's why you're doing it, because that's how they rule over you.
Mm-hmm.
To be attracted to things that are not good for you, and to refute things that are good for you.
Talk about it.
To listen to nonsense, but the things that are good, the education that you need, you won't get. But you listen to foolishness. So this is how they rule over you. Keep you sick, keep you broke, keep you poor, keep you spiritually depleted. And they use it. So now the foods you're eating, the steam you're drinking, and the gods that you're worshiping, the whole works, the friends that you have, the wife that you have, the husband that you have, it's all going to your hurt. This is systems and things that they used then and they do now. You just look at the Torah or the Bible, you think that was just that. No. They look in here and say, listen, let's get it this way. So in other words, well, we have the power to say, no.
That's right.
I'm not drinking or eating that. No,
That's
I'm not
right.
going to
That's
that
right.
club party dedicated to this God to be with that woman. Because they work on your desires. Even in the garden. Kaiwa was told that tree, the fruit of that tree, to not eat it, not touch it. Their job was to what? Ruin God.
Hey.
But here comes that little challenge that says, hey, God told you that this tree was this and that.
Talk about it. Challenge.
Yeah, it's a challenge. From the beginning of time, you always had challenges. It says, listen, God does know the day that you eat of that fruit, you become like gods. To know good and evil. Guess what? That wasn't a lie. That was the truth. But that's where deceit comes in and beguiling comes in. You say, well, where does serpent come from? Well, that's your test. And like, there's always serpents. The Creator put it there. For the very same purpose he told us, Israel, I did all of this in the wilderness to see whether you love me or not. From the garden to Kaiwa to Adam, listen, they didn't have to. They could have said no because God told us not to eat of that tree. But they didn't. Because why? It wouldn't have been nothing. But remember, your desires is what gets us in trouble.
Talk about it.
Because she saw that it was to make one wise. But what I know, I want more of. Then it began to look pleasant to show you how things work. You begin to beguile yourself. But you need some fuel. So here comes the serpent to what fuel is. It's all right. Listen, it's sad, but God don't care if you go to that wedding. Go to that party, that event. It's only one day. You know what? You really want to hear it anyway.
That's
you know
right.
what you like. Wrong. As the Proverbs say, you think it, but not right. So now, what you think, well, listen, it's designed to make one. I want more wise wisdom. I want more wisdom to be more wise. Treat it looks good, but she had help. But guess what? it was already there. The initiative to want to do it is there. You just have a little push. That's what the circle was. That's your turn, and that's right then and now. It's always that one that says, go ahead. Eat it. And a lot of times that is within you. You have two sides. One that says, you know, it's no good. So listen, you start the ration, but not alright. And there goes that other thing that says, spirit that says, hey, go ahead, man, take it.
Right.
And now you do something that's not good for you. So from the garden to now, it's still the same effort. We were invited, and I stay on that point because this is something that happens over and over and over to us again.
That's right.
And we go against God. So they ate, they worshiped to God. Now, here's how deep it gets in the third verse before we get into the Pinchas.
Okay.
In the third verse,
And Israel joined himself. Listen to God. And Israel joined himself
look at that.
unto Baal of Peor.
And
the anger of Jehovah was kindled against Israel.
Yizamed Israel Baal Peor, Yikar af Yehovah Israel. You see the third verse? That's very deep. It says, not only did we Ishtakawu when we worship, we Zamed. We joined ourselves. Now the word Zamed is used in very instances, many cases. But it's what we call, it's also even a bracelet. And you know what a bracelet does? It hugs you. In other words, we embrace this thing. It was attached. That's why you should term Israel joined. They attach themselves. Because when we do something, we do it better than the people who originated it. So that's why I said, yes, I meant Israel Lebal Pure. It didn't go through just they worship or they did this. It says they joined themselves. They connected themselves like a bracelet, like armor. That's what we did. We got into Baal Peor. Listen, if we got into the creator like we got into Baal Peor, we'll be okay.
Yes.
But that was a problem. So that's why the creator's angry. We just didn't do it like, okay, you know, oh, I want this woman, so I'm gonna go do what I need to do. No, this was you. You put your heart and soul into this. The same heart and soul what the creator asked you for. Love me with all your heart, all your soul, all your might. Well, this is what you did to Baal Peor, that instant. So by now it says, Yikar. Yikar off your heart. And the flare up of your whole heart. So God got angry with you. What? I done brought them all this way. In one instant, we changed. We got into this thing. We joined to our heart and soul was in this.
That's right.
That's deep. That's why. It's how we do it. We do the wrong. See, that's why I said we do the nasty. We do it well. And it's written. It says, well, to know how to do good, you don't know. But you know how to do evil. You destroy things, but you know how to build. Look what happens to us. So God is angry with us. We got invited to something that wasn't good. Got there, ate and drank, cohabitated with the women. That solidifies the deal when you eat and drink in a place. Gonna let you know in the beginning that they invited them to what? The worship of their gods.
That's right.
Come on, people. That's like somebody said, well, you going to go to church with you? I'm gonna invite you to church. It's all right, man. This is one with you. That can't happen. I can't go to your place of worship to worship your God.
No.
It's not a trade-off. Oh, well, you can come here, but I can't come. It don't mean I can't go into church. The church meetings, churches have meetings and things that happen like that. That's one. But to go worship can't happen.
No.
Because you're not worshiping the same God that I'm worshiping. So people say, it's only one God. Yeah, okay, yeah. But then there wouldn't be no problem with this. And the other thing that we did with God was beating us up. Because our biggest problem was we worshiping other gods. So don't fall for the game. There's only one God. Well, what God are you talking about? If it's not the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov, then that's it. If you're not dealing with that God, then that's not the God I serve. In general, we know there's only one power. But who will you say is power? Because people run that line, there's only one God. Yeah, you're right. But what God is that one God? You see? No, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The Tetragrammaton, you see Jehovah, Yahweh, okay? Akum Yah, Hashem, you know. You see, you got to be very careful. Don't let them dupe you, Israel. You got to be greater than this.
That's right.
Now, we are not knocking the Notary, the Christians, because there's some good people. Our grandparents were Christians. But here's the point about life. You elevate. There's steps.
That's right.
You're stepping, you're making a higher elevation when you come out of Christianity or any other religion. Okay? You don't go back. You go forward.
Yes.
You understand? If you come out the streets and go to church, that's one thing. But once you come into this way, that's it. It's a level. You come in, you even come out of Islam and come in. It's another level.
That's right.
You understand? You're not knocking the worship. Because there's godliness in many peoples.
That's right.
But you're talking about making steps closer to the Creator.
Yes, indeed.
That's what we're talking about Israel. So there's levels. Okay? But we can't not go with, okay, it's all well, no. You will come to worship. Because remember, they invited them to do what? To their sacrifices. You see? So no, we can't go to yours, but you can come to ours.
That's right.
It's a one-way street. Well, that's not fair. Well, I'm not worried about fair. I'm worried about righteousness. It's not fair. It's what's right before God. So it's like that's the sermon. Okay, so it's not a trade-off with us. Okay? That's how it is. So we can't be duped into that. And again, they did it, as I say, collard greens, fried chicken, Hennessy of their time. Food, drink, because you know that's us. We like to party. But you got to be careful what that party is dedicated about. You got to be very careful. These are things that many people go to affairs, things happen. Women get date rape, things happen. Mickey's things get slipped in your drinks. It's all kind of, so you got to be aware. Who are you having affairs with? Who you're partying with? What's the agenda about? And most people know before they even go to an affair what they're going for. Mm-hmm. In most cases, it's not, I'm just going to dance with men or women. There's an agenda. When you be honest, I'm going to find somebody to meet that you can have fun with. Not just dance. I mean, in this case, we were just out going to go dance. But normally, it's more than that. As I said, what's the agenda? What's the motive? Okay, even when you meet someone there, you already know it's either two things a guy wants. Face it. But then you don't want to deal with reality. Okay, and most guys are not coming to the club to find a wife. Okay, and they ain't just coming to dance. Because half of the guys sit on the wall, stand up.
Uh-oh.
They're looking for a prey. And there are women who do the same thing. The guy with the nice car, let's be honest. What's the motive about why you're going with him? You going to meet Mr. Right Guy? Yeah. Not that a guy can't come in. Yes. No. So what is the whole thing really about? So what was this about that they went to? Was it about food? Come on. This food, drink, and having fun. And that's around the world. They use the same tactics today.
That's it.
Same thing, different way. When the dignitaries leave this country and they go to other countries, what do you think they do? You could ask Brother Noriega, tell you what he said that the dignitaries were doing, what he was providing them with. Very deep, right?
Yes.
Come on, people. So we got to understand this various levels. So God was upset with them. Israel. 4th verse says what of that, the 24th chapter, brother?
And Jehovah said to Moshe, take all the chiefs of the people and hang them up onto Jehovah in the face of the sun,
right?
That there may turn away the fierce anger of Jehovah from Israel.
God, because God is upset with us. How could you fall for that? After everything we just been through as a people, you read all the different stuff. What's going on with you? That's how close we are to do wrong.
Yes.
I'm telling you, just like that, we can flesh.
Just like that.
Just like that. Where's the honor? Where's the loyalty? Continue, brother.
King, the 5th.
Uh-huh.
And Moshe said unto the judges of Israel.
Look, to the Shoftei Israel, he said to the judges. Are the judges that God made, he made for Jethro? Are they the ones who God took the spirit off and put on Moshe? But these are the Shoftei. Because you understand about our judges. They just don't make decisions. Our judges are fighters as well. They're warriors as well. Didn't they say Shimshon judged Israel?
King.
He was a warrior, fighter. Right? They don't just sit in the seat and say you're guilty or not. They go to war.
That's right.
Take the judges and do what, brother?
King. Slay ye every one his men that have joined themselves unto Baal Peor.
Yeah. Those who took part of that, get the judges, get the heads of those people who are responsible for your people, deal with this. Slay them. Not put them in prison. This is a death sentence. Continue.
King. And behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren a Midianitish woman.
Okay, stop right there, brother. How we get from Midianite, from a Moabite to Midianite? Do people ask that question? What are the Midianites doing hanging out with Moab? The Midianites, now understand this. Those two people, those two nations are Hebrews, like we're Hebrews. They're Hebrews. The Midianites are children of Abraham. The Moabites are children of Lot. They're Hebrews. And that's why you're Israel, because you are a step higher than just being a Hebrew. That's what we're Hebrew Israelites. Because they had laws given to them, but then you were given more. You see? And their family. This is a family situation here going on. But how did Midianites get in there? Because it was always the Midianites, when you read the portion of the law, was governing the affairs. The Midianites and the Moabites hung out together like the Persian and the Medes. The Midianites governed the affairs. So guess what? And I'm going to show you what happens. Nations get together to plot on you. Then and now. They may not even like each other, but to get you out of the way, they come together. Because they have a common denominator, a common objective, a common enemy.
That's right.
So now you got the Moabite and the Midianite, because now here comes one of these brothers with a Midianite. But yet we said that we the daughters of Moab. And yet the Midianites are involved in this as well. Wow, interesting. So he comes with this Midianite woman. All this is going on. People are being punished now. Men are being killed because of the decisions they made. Oh, they had their fun. That's like Nasi read today when the sister and Mishle said stolen water is sweet and bread eaten in secret is cool. You know? Well, now you got your stolen waters and you got your not, but here come the consequences of the stolen waters. Now they have a death penalty on their head, a plague. But in spite of all of that that's going on, let me show you how our mindset is. And we're going to talk about a person who's a leader. People are crying and mourning. They're dying because of their choices.
That's right.
And yet this one person comes with the woman, a Midianite woman, and it says, "In name Moshe," before the eyes of Moshe, and before the eyes of all the people. In other words, he didn't care.
Right.
There's no discretion. When you get to doing what you want to do, that's like, to me, I'm going to use the term, when you come with a woman in your mother's house and you don't respect the rules of your parents, and you come with a woman inside or a friend inside and you walk past her, or even if you sneak on the side, she's in the house, or a man in the house if you're a woman, you don't care. But he didn't even sneak. He came in front of Moshe
Oh, no.
and the
Right.
congregation.
Oh.
No consciousness, don't care about what's going on. I want what I want. I want that woman. I want that man. And it doesn't matter if my parents don't like the situation or who don't care. Even if it's going to destroy me, I want what I want. And that's the attitude. And that's what gets us in trouble. So now what happened, brother?
Once again, in the midst of that 6th verse, in the sight of Moshe and in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel,
Yeah.
while they were weeping.
While they were boking, they were weeping. Why? Because they're dying. Because of the choices that they made. You had your fun. But now you're going to pay the price for having that fun. So they're weeping. But it doesn't matter with some people. Because now I want what I want, no matter how destructive it is. I want that other person, even if it's going to destroy my beautiful family. So a few minutes of pleasure is going to ruin your whole family, your whole being. Is it worth it? Are you really thinking about this?
Mm-hmm.
No, because I want what I want. That's what happens to us. And you know what? We all be put in that position one way or another. It may not be a cohabitation thing. It may be choices that we make in public. That decision that you make could bring down your family or your household. Or as it says in Proverbs, the foolish will tear down her household. It could be a decision that you make as a male or female that could hurt you and your family. And you make that wrong decision, but you're doing it based upon what you want, not what's good for the whole.
That's right.
So we have to be very careful in how we move. Okay? The choices that we make. Continue, brother.
Cain 7.
And
when Pinchas saw, when he saw it.
Now this brother is bringing this woman by everybody, you know what I mean, that these people just pulled the fast one on us. And now you're going to still bring one of these sisters in when they're the cause of us, they're part of, technically we're the problem, not them. They're doing what they do, because we shouldn't have been entrapped. But they're part of the situation and we're bringing one of the women in past all this that's going on. Wasn't it the ones who attacked us? What you doing with us? Bringing them past Moshe and past the congregation. And what happened? While we're weeping. That shows you sometimes the heart of people. I don't care. Because I want what I want. And that's how we can become. You see this brother here? You know that's us. We can become that. Because we have the same DNA.
That's right.
Continue.
Cain, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aharon, the priest.
So Pinchas, who's Eleazar's son, okay, who's Aaron's grandson. What did he do? What he does? What did he do? He saw this. What? I know this not real. I just know. Well, welcome to Israel. Unbelievable. What does he do, brother?
He rose up from the midst of the congregation and took a spear in his hand.
He took a romak in his hand.
And he went after the man of Israel.
So Yabo Akar Ish Israel
into the chamber.
Now this is deep because it doesn't say oh hell. A tent. He went into the kuba. The kuba or kuba is a chamber. It's like an inner chamber. It's deep inside. It's not right there. It's like going into that inner room. So it's like you got to go through layers to get in there. That's how God was taking. So he followed the man into the kuba, into his tent, into that part where they're going to have fun. And what happened? Like the bedroom.
And thrust both of them through.
So now he has a spear. And so when he comes inside, they're already in position. I'm going to use those graphics. They're in position already. That was fast. Now, it doesn't give time limit to what happened. But he followed them. Because in order for him to thrust, as you're going to read, they had to be already in position. So they ain't wasting no time. He thrust Shanahan, both of them through. Continue.
The man of Israel
The
and
man
the
of Israel
woman
and
through
the
her
woman
belly.
through her what?
Through her belly.
Through her stomach. Kafta, right? For her stomach, right? So you got to pick choreo of the graphics of where they were.
Yes.
They were prone. Through him, through her stomach. That's what he did with the spear. Killed both of them. Okay? Very deep.
That takes a lot of strength.
Takes a lot of strength. But the spear is sharp. And guess what? God is with him. Whatever strength he don't have, God gonna give it to him.
Uh-huh.
Through him, through her. So they're prone. Continue.
So the plague was stayed.
Now look at this. So not only were people dying and being killed, but there's also a Magaifa, a plague going on at the same time. You see? So whatever the judges don't handle, God is dealing with the Magaifa, the plague. Now, once this happened, the plague stopped. Because the judgment that the judges are doing is done. But now the plague is going on. And so he doesn't care that the judges are going through passing judgment.
Uh-oh.
I want what I want. That's like a building burning. You're going to come on, let's go. We got to do this. Oh, are you serious? When your mind, that's why they say you pine away your iniquity.
Yes.
How could you even do this when people are being destroyed and killed and they're weeping? So when Pinchas saw this, he said, nah. He took action. And he went and he did this. Now, here's what it says in the 9th verse.
And there were those that died by the plague.
I meant